Hey guys, and welcome back to Her Revision Podcast, the podcast for women who are rewriting the stories that they tell themselves and that the world tells them. And today we're not going to sugarcoat anything. Y'all, I have a question and I need an answer. Actually, I need you to give yourself an answer. Would the woman that you want to be recognize you right now? Better yet, would she be proud of you right now? Would she want to sit in the same circle with you? Would she want to be your friend? And I had to ask myself this question, so that's why I'm really I'm giving y'all this, because this is something that I had to post to myself last night. Am I asking for blessings and things from God for my future and the person that I want to be, but the old habits, the things that are not conducive to my growth that I've still been doing, the practices that I haven't put into place yet, are they still around? And quite frankly, yes, I have been growing, and yes, I have been trying to evolve and revise, but there are some things that I still, old habits that haven't quite left yet. So that's what I need to lock into, because I'm asking for blessings that the me now that has some things that I still got to tweak is not prepared for. So let's work on that, right? This is your wake-up call. This is what you need to hear to get yourself on the track so that when you do meet future you, she thinks you're bomb. I mean, I know I'm going to think I'm bomb, but I really want to be proud of myself, right? I want to be proud of myself, my growth in doing the internal work, because so many of us want the external blessings, the external value, but when it comes to doing the internal work, we shy away from it. We don't have time for it. We're lazy. We're putting it off for another day. You got work to do, friend. So let's get into it. I want to tear down some common excuses. I want to expose old habits, specifically that I have, and maybe you'll resonate with this as well. But these are the things that are holding me back, and I want to expose them so that I can start setting new habits for myself. For example, for me specifically, the number one theme for myself is financial. Financially, I have had in the past, up until quite frankly, maybe a few weeks ago, I have still conditioned myself to operate in that old me state of mind. So, having the mentality that, it'll come back. It's just money. It's not that big of a deal. Don't be so stringent on how you spend. Don't be so frugal with yourself, because you're going to get it back. So ball out, because why not? You deserve it. That was my number one excuse. You deserve it. And girl, yeah, you do deserve it. You deserve it. But I'm starting to realize the me now does deserve it. But what have I really been practicing? I think that when you start to tell yourself yeah, you deserve it, be real with you. Because we are quick to point out how somebody else is not being real. It's so easy to help somebody else see, think of it this way, but with yourself, you can't do it. Yes, I deserve it, but then in the same token, I need to stay and speak out of my mouth why I feel that way. Because honestly, y'all, Jesus died on the cross for us. And I don't know why this works for me. When I start to give myself bare minimum excuses or start to feel like, I'm just a girl, whatever the case may be, I have to remind myself, what does that have to do with anything? You went to work. Congratulations. Everybody has to. Good job. And don't get me wrong, there are some things that are just hard for some people. And, it's a mental battle. But in the same token, it has to be worth it. Jesus died on the cross for me, y'all. So quite frankly, me being just a girl, me waking up and having to go to work does not mean I deserve it. What else have you done? How have you exercised the purpose that God has placed over your life? What have you done to make sure that you have exemplified all who God created you to be, right? So I can no longer use the excuse that, I went to work today. Oh, well, girl, you have been working out all week. You deserve to go splurge. Oh, girl, you had a hard day at work. Y'all, until I've reached goals of mine and milestones of mine that will make future me proud, I still got work to do. And I don't want this to be one of those episodes where you feel like you're getting ragged on, or that means you got to work twice as hard. No, but it has to make sense. Don't be the type of person that allows excuses to hold you back, because it is so easy to allow the woe is me way of thinking to be the reason why you stay stuck in the same place that you were last year and the year before that. I remember a time when I was stuck in the same cycle, wishing for a breakthrough, praying for a breakthrough, but still doing the same old things. I'm asking God to deliver me from my financial status of not having it, of having to be check to check. But if I get a little bit of money, I'm going to the restaurant down the street. Best believe I'm getting me some Chinese food. I'm eating out every Friday because I deserve it. You feel me? But then it's just like, what am I doing to show that I can steward well over the blessings and the things that I am praying for? If it's not financials for you, but it is you praying to God and asking Him to help you find your purpose, and you really want to figure out what you were called to do in this life and what you were meant to do, but you know very well that you are horrible with procrastination. You know very well that you are not a good planner. You really will wait to the last minute to do a lot of stuff. You make excuses and sometimes you get lazy. Do you see how that doesn't match up, friend? Do you see how what you're asking for and the habits that you are actually doing on a daily basis does not add up? That's what you have to work on. When we think about habits, even more habits, like in relationships, do you feel like you're self-sabotaging? A lot of the times, even habits where we want, oh God, I want a good relationship. I want to have good relationships with my family, or I want to find a man that's for me. I want to really have a good relationship with a significant other that lasts long. But you constantly settle for less because you're comfortable, because you just want that body near you. How can you ask God for a relationship that is the epitome of your person, your partner, the one that's supposed to propel you and further and just make you feel good and make you feel safe and push you to, follow your dreams even more so than you already push yourself? But you settle for less, and you settle for every Tom, Dick, and Jane or whatever because they want you and you want them, and or you just want somebody. Discernment, friend, where is it? We have to remember that faith without works is dead. It's dead. And when it comes to repeating the same old habits, that's the part where the work comes in. You cannot believe that He will do it, but when it comes to you doing the work, you forget about that part. It is a twofold scripture. One cannot exist without the other. So many of us have faith, and we carry on the same old habits and old traits and things that we know that are not good for us or that are toxic cycles, and then come up with the excuse. And I hate to hear this because I've heard this for so many people. And I'm even guilty of doing it. I'm not exempt from this because I've done it before. But y'all know that thing that people say where it's just like, oh, well, you could be in the rut. You could literally be repeating the same cycle over and over again, finding yourself in the same financial boat, finding yourself in the same toxic relationships, and then be like, you know what? I'm not even going to worry about it. It don't even matter. God going to get me out of it. Okay, at this point, you're using Him like a genie, and I don't like that for you. And I don't like that for me. We have to do the work. It's a slap in the face, and I think that's what I started to realize. It is a slap in the face to ask God for something that He knows that you won't be able or have the couth to actually put forth the effort to maintain. And then so many of us wonder why it's not happening. It's not because God doesn't want us to have it. It's not because God doesn't want us to do it. Because He will do over and beyond what we could ever imagine, but you have to be able to handle it. Can you handle it? What old habits do you have to let go, let die? We have to stop waiting for the stars to align and things to just fall in our lap. If you want it, you got to work for it. If you want it, you got to put forth the effort. There are so many things that I want. I want a nationally syndicated podcast. I want a billboard in Times Square, y'all. I want to move to New York and just live out my best artsy 30-year-old Jasmine era, right? But in order for me to get there, I cannot sit and let time go past and and doom scroll, or keep putting off the content ideas that I have, or keep putting off, the things that I think will put me in place to receive those blessings, and then just expect it to happen. It won't. Or worse, it will. And then I'm going to be the one that lets it all fall. Ooh, case in point, I was reading a story in the Bible. The passage that I was reading today was Ezekiel 27. And basically it was the lament for Tyre. Tyre was a city. It was a powerhouse, so to speak, in ancient trade. And I'm reading the devotional that I had ChatGPT, y'all. If y'all are trying to get back into the word, use ChatGPT to create a devotional for you based off of what you're reading in the Bible. And I promise you, anyways, that's a whole nother conversation for another day. But anyway, Tyre was a city, right? But even more so, basically what happened was it ended up being a lost empire. But in the chapter, it basically was a description of how, Tyre was at the top pinnacle of riches and wealth and achievements and ambition. That's literally what the city was built off of. But then it literally just crumbled. Like, it literally had the biggest downfall, one of the biggest downfalls of cities in the Bible, right? And it basically, because I had ChatGPT show me how this could relate to my life. And it was basically telling me like I know that I'm out here grinding. I'm building my podcast. I'm chasing my dreams. And I'm trying to live a life that's real and intentional. But also, just like Tyre, if we build our lives solely on the things that we say that we want, the accolades, the reputation, the material gain, when the tide turns, or when things don't happen in the way that they should based off of what we do and the things that we have put out into the world, or whatever the case may be, if your energy is focused on the wrong areas, there is a risk of losing a sight of your true anchor. Your value, your purpose, and your strength don't come from those external values. It comes from a deep, unshakable relationship with God. It comes from doing the hard work to maintain that, to maintain your humility, your wisdom, and knowing that the only lasting foundation is the one built on God's truth. And it was a reminder to me that I cannot basically just say, oh God, I want this, this, and this. Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put forth the effort here, but don't maintain that same humbleness, that same humility, that same eye on the prize to get there without putting in that work, y'all. It takes more than just saying that I'm going to do something, or that I want something, or more than just seeing, the riches and all of the accolades that I could have. It takes doing the hard work to maintain that. Naturally, success can fold when life storms hit, right? But how are you putting in the work to maintain it? You have to be intentional about every area of your life, especially when it comes to things that you're asking God about, right? Are you intentional about your health? Are you intentional about your walk with God, your creative pursuit that you have? How intentional are you? Are you putting forth that work, that effort? There are choices that we have to make daily, weekly, whatever the case may be, to better ourselves, to make better habits. So you have to figure out where you fall short. Maybe you are letting fear dictate your choices. Maybe that's a bad habit, that you keep letting fear keep you from becoming your best self, from putting forth the effort to reach, the fullest potential of who you could be, right? Sometimes the woman that you want to be is calling you out from falling into the same things that have kept you in the space of your life that you are in, or kept you in this cycle of things that you keep repeating. It might sting a little bit, and I won't lie, it was a realization for me as well, but it might sting a little bit to realize that your current self isn't that powerful, confident woman yet that you will be in the future. But once you realize that, you will become unstoppable. Friend, this isn't about shaming you. This isn't about making you feel like you aren't that girl, because you're going to be that girl with or without, where you could potentially be your fullest potential. But you have to spark that change into yourself. What things are you keep sitting on or making excuses for that you know is going to make you be the best version of yourself? Are you supposed to be going back to school right now? Have you looked into that? Did you say you was going to change your career, but every time you get off of a shift, you don't do nothing but go home and lay around? Have you looked into another job, into the career of your dreams? You say you want to be a content creator. Have you been making new content, or are you making excuses for the equipment that you don't have, for the ideas that hasn't came to your mind yet? Have you carved out space to sit down and plan? Did you say you want to move, you want to get a better apartment, you want to get a car, whatever the case may be, but you haven't put forth the effort to save even a cent? What old habits do you have to let die? What is it? Change is very messy. Transformation is not linear, and I know that it won't be easy. Shit, I have to remind myself that it will not be easy, Jazz. But what I had to realize is the woman that I want to be is not going to be born overnight. She isn't. Me even telling myself that there are things that need to die within me means that I'm ready to put in the work. But just like a video that I just made on TikTok, if they wanted to, they would, is only a statement if they have the capacity to do it. Are you in the space of your life where you want to put forth the capacity, the dedication, the will to do what needs to be done? Or are you just going to talk about it? Because, girl, we can talk about it all day. You can listen to every episode that I done dropped to just get some inspiration. But when are you going to actually start? Where's the action, friend? So I want you to sit down and make a list, right? Sit down and make a list of the things that need to change in your life. Sit down and make a list of all the old habits that you know have been a repeating cycle in your life and you want to change and you just don't know where to start. And I'll even throw you another one because I do talk about journaling a lot. I talk about therapy a lot, but let me get into chat. Chat, y'all need to sponsor me because I use y'all way too much and I pay for Chat Pro or whatever it's called. I do. Because it just helps me. Even in my actual 9-to-5, it helps me. But y'all, make a list of all of the habits, the old habits that you know that needs to break. And then do a prompt in ChatGPT. And I promise y'all this is coming from the brain right now. Write down your list of old habits and then go to chat and put in the prompt. Based on these old habits, here's a list of them. And then list the habits. What are some things and some steps and some necessary positive habits that I can put in the place of these to become my best self? And see what chat does for you. See what chat says. Sometimes you just need that guiding, helping hand. Sometimes you know exactly what needs to change, but you just don't know how to start. Like, okay, what do I need to do? Try it. Okay. Anyways, I love you guys so much. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching me on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to my podcast newsletter. The link will be in the bio. If you are listening to me on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever else you stream, I want to say hello. Please review the podcast. Y'all, it helps so much. I see that I keep having viewers consistently, but it helps so much when y'all leave 5 stars and comment, tell me something you love, because I love hearing it. It helps me gain visibility. And yeah, until next time, bye.